training.tv. My name is Margaret. I'm here with the wonderful Christian Schmitz. How you doing, Christian?
I'm doing fine, yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. Christian just got out of one meeting. He's now here with us, which we appreciate. But we're continuing our mini series on the FileMaker Monkey Bread plugin and SQL or SQL. Feel free to string me up for whatever pronunciation I use. Uh, it's been a fun discussion so far. Basically, there was a series of blog posts that was released as an advent calendar in December that covers some of the really unique and interesting things you can do with SQL. And yesterday was fun because we had kind of an introduction to it, what you can do with it, and then how, the MBS plugin enables things beyond the base FileMaker functions. So, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're continuing the discussion about save as the right way with MBS and Nick Hunter's multi-select UI. We're kind of having a Monkeybread plugin March, which, to be honest, is pretty appropriate. The plugin does a lot. Uh, most people I talk to who use it, they cannot live without some of the development quality of life features. I always bring up, for example, the auto-correcting variables because it's probably my favorite. Another big one that was recently added that I really love is I use a variety of the MBS's search functions because he's added several. Like there's one on relationships, there's one to highlight scripts while you're scrolling down in FileMaker script workplace, but he added one recently where you can just search all the scripts that you have, which is fantastic because that makes my life a billion times easier. So I recommend that you go give it a download. Let me pull up the page for it up real fast. Monkeybreadsoftware.com. There's a free version. There's a paid version. The paid version is very inexpensive for the amount of functionality it gives you. MBS is also, frankly, not just a developer quality of life. Those are one of those easier things you can pick up and go like, oh, that's an automatically useful thing. It does a lot for you and your customers. One of our more popular topics, for example, is PDF shenanigans. It can do a lot to improve your ability to work within PDFs. There's literally so much it can do that I'm having a hard time quantifying it to words, which is why we're having so many days on the various things it can do. So, with that all being said, Christian, I'm going to hand it over to you and we're going to get started. So, hi, Christian.
Yes.
What are we doing today?
Today we are sharing my screen. So we are talking about the Advent Calendar series of 2025. As you may know, we have a blog post summarizing all the entries. So we have 24 for last year. We have a download of the sample database and a PDF version here. And we have, of course, the older things here from 2024, 2023, and 2022. Yeah, where you can learn about cool things in the plugin.
I think we did a video series of the 2024 one, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, we have that on the YouTube archive,
Mm-hmm.
So, and today we want to talk a little bit more about the next 8 entries here about SQL. So let's start with totals and averages. As you may know, you can use SQL to do calculations, but you can also use a plugin to do a calculation on the result set. So you can make a query in our sample database to sum up the generated sales, or you can get all the sales data into memory. And once you have it in memory, you can do some math on it, like here asking the plugin to calculate the sum. This can be very handy to do some, math operations, especially with SQL. You always have the thing that you can run several queries to get individual things like sums or averages. And with our stored result, you can do the query once, and then you have it in memory, and then you can do several sums in different columns if you like. Or you do one SQL query and sum up several tables. It's your decision, but once you have it in memory, you can, of course, do a lot of things with it. So let's see. So we can sum up the entries. We get a value back. That's fine. We can also ask for an average. So, like the statistic fields in FileMaker, we can do things like min, max, average, sum. And then you can also make a sum in SQL. Select sum, put in the name of the field. You can put here a comma and maybe sum of another field or an average of another field. You can do this all in SQL. And then you can, of course, also get the query result from the sum into a stored SQL result, and then use other functions like here, getting the text of it, which, well, this is something like using a truck to move a donut, you know.
But it
Uh,
works. It is
yeah,
technically
it
effective.
technically works, of course. Average. So let's just try this directly and FileMaker, like data viewer, MBS. Oh, technically we can also use SQL from FileMaker to just run this. Oh wait, execute. Oh yeah, it wants me to add the separators. So we get back the number. And you can then here say something like, and this is basic SQL, sum, what else? Or maybe a maximum. So all in one go, and that makes it quite efficient. Oh, have you seen? It's using comma if you pass nothing here.
Oh, by default? Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm putting two spaces. Okay. So it's a lot of fun to do all the SQL queries, especially if you have a script that builds the SQL on the fly, you know. So you may have at FileMaker relationships and you may have statistic fields, but if you don't know yet which field will be the sum based on, you know, don't pick it. Okay, let's go to the next topic. So, oh, minimum and maximum, yeah. So same here, you can use the plugin function on the stored result, or you can use it directly in a query. I think we may, if you don't have questions about this, I will just continue.
I think that works for me because I'm getting the idea of what's happening.
Yeah. There's also the possibility to do in SQL, you can group things by, for example, the launch date. And then you have several movies that get collected for the average here, but you still can query the launch. So that's also a thing you can do.
Is group essentially sorting? Like sort by?
No, it groups the entries, you know. You have all the years and you have the sum of the movies.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Okay.
in the query, it will sum up the field based on which generated sales entries belong to the same group based on the launch date. So I can also use what was it, director,
Got it.
to do the same.
That's really cool, actually, because
Yeah, this is if you do some reporting, those queries can be useful.
well, because you'll get different results with different groups, like different sums and stuff like that. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. And you can, of course, add here some more things, like you can group by director and launch date.
Oh, so you can further
Launch. Yeah, well, that's standard SQL things. But now we have the, here, Chris Columbus has 1990 and 1992. So.
Got it. Okay, that's really cool.
Okay. Again, you can run this and store the result in memory and then use plugin functions on it.
Got it. Okay.
What's that question? Or?
Max is a sum? Question mark.
No, max is a maximum. We can also use sum for sum.
In this case, max and summon is wow. Max and sum would generate the same answer, right?
So let me just go by director. So we get a sum. No, we get an error by director. So it doesn't know what to do with the launch date then. Because if you don't group by the launch date, you can't ask for the launch date there. But we could ask for the min of launch date, you know. So then it would be the first and the last, maybe. Why not? So you would get here, the first movie is 1990, the second last movie is 1992, and the sum of the second. So can be
Okay, so
very
it'll give
useful.
you a kind of range. Got it. Okay. Is the biggest generated sales number within range of records? Question mark.
Can you explain the question?
Yeah, David Angel, could you follow up talking about the max?
So this is the sum. We can also ask for the max. So we have all the movies from this director, from this year to this year, which have a maximum of this and a sum of this. So it's the max for all the movies made by this director.
Yeah, he's asking what the max is. He's basically saying, what exactly is making max different from sum? And max would be like the largest amount in one record, right? And
Yeah,
sum would
yeah.
be the combination of all the records.
So for some directors here with just one movie, it's the same,
Same.
but this one had two movies. So sum and max is not the same.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, we're doing here some SQL. Oh, we have another interesting thing. Get the launch date, the name, and the sales from a movie where the generated sales is, and now it does a second query to get a single value, which is the maximum of the generated sales of a movie with the same launch date.
Oh,
That's
okay.
wait, this would be the same. Well, this must be the same movie then, because otherwise, okay, we would have to find two movies with the same sales number to match here. Yeah, let's see. Does this give any result?
I'm curious as to what the result for that is.
This basically gives all the movies, isn't it? So let's also put this as an entry into the query. So just let me see what the second movie is. Select. Now let's enroll it as a name 2. Oh, I can't refer to this M1. Oh, okay. So it's a bit curious what this query actually does, because the movies have to have the same launch date and the same.
What is M1 and then M2? Question mark.
Oh no, this is it's looking for the one where the sales date is the highest in the same year of all the movies. So this is basically the list of all the movies sorted, yeah, the best movies of each year.
Oh, so if they share a year, it's looking for the best one in that year.
Yeah, sort
Okay.
by launch. So order by. So now we can order by the year number, and we know what's the best movie for each year. So we have the table movie twice in our query. So we have movie table here, and we have movie table here.
Mm-hmm.
And we refer to both movie tables. So we give each movie table like a table occurrence name. So this movie is now known as M1, which also means I can write here M1, of course, because I want the thing from first table, and then I make a second query where I refer to the same table as movie with the name M2. And then I can say the movie I'm looking at in this table through this table occurrence has this launch date, and that must match the movie M1, which is the current one I'm looking in this table here. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
using table occurrences in
That's
SQL.
that's a really good explanation for it. Do you not need to establish what the table occurrence represents at the beginning of the expression?
Now you see,
Be
I tell it, please look in this table, and I refer to it as this name.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
M2 is yeah, basically M2 is a table, M1 is they're both the movie table, but
Yeah.
there are different
I
occurrences.
can also give a field a name here as, let's say, M1 or launch 1, and then use that in further queries. See? No, FileMaker doesn't like it. Oh, well. That's a different thing. So there is some SQL things that don't work in FileMaker. It's something about I can only use the M1 here is defined in this context. So it's here, so I can refer to fields here from M1. And here M2 is known and also M1 is known, so I can compare them. Okay, let's see what else we have. This gives max generated sales from individual years. Yeah. You can read the explanation here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we came to the next query. And right, that's this. Oh, now we have the order by launch. So with SQL, you can put in order by clause on the end after. So you start always with select to get some data. Then where is the table? Then you may have some joins, and then you have no, they have some from. No, wait. You have the where, and then you have no, the from, and then you have maybe some joins. Then the where with the condition.
Mm-hmm.
After the where comes things like group by and order by. The sort, you can have several things, like you can put several fields there. We can also put in a scanning or descanning order. And then maybe name. So you can sort by several fields, which doesn't have an effect here. But I could sort by name, and then I could sort by the generated sales. Maybe descending or so, but it doesn't have a difference. Name descending. We have only one record per, all the entries are unique basically. So you can put some order clauses there. So
Ooh, new
let's go
records.
next. Now we are adding records, and this is low-level adding with insert command.
Mm-hmm.
So insert into table name, just the table name if needed in quotes, the field names, and then values. And you can have more values for several records if you need. So we have here an example. This one uses SQL execute, which doesn't make sense for an insert as there is no actual result coming back. Like that's a big problem with FileMaker. When you do an insert, it doesn't tell you which row ID it created or which primary key it created. So it's difficult to refer to the new record. For this reason, we usually use something like a field with a new UID, and we make a new UID, put it in the field, which can be the new primary key field if you use UID for primary keys. And then you can pass it in so you know some key in advance because you put it in the new record. And then we have our MBS function. So this line and this line does the same. So if you use insert record with a plugin, you pass in the file name to establish the context, or you can put in, empty text there with two quotes for the current context, and then you put in the name of the table. Next, you put in the pairs of field names and the value. And then the plugin will internally create an insert statement and pass your values, so prepared parameters, so question marks, and make a record with FileMaker. You may get an error if there's maybe a duplicate, in the unique field, or you don't have permissions to write or something like this. There's a specialty that the name here can use get field name in FileMaker, so you don't need to hard code this.
Oh.
Yeah. So here we can use get field name, and then name is right. Name is the name field. And director. So if you rename the field, this will not break.
Oh, I forget about that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, FileMaker can always rename fields. I think you can, with the current plugin, you can also leave the table empty because there's a table here.
Oh, okay.
So the plugin gets a table from the first field name. Let's see. Yeah, worked. So we get back okay. Let's make a little mistake.
When you create a record this way, does it trigger script triggers on like the table you're... That makes sense. Like if you, because
Do
this
you
is
have
about
script triggers in FileMaker on table level?
not table. Sorry, on the layout, or is it layout? Because it's completely layout exempt,
Yeah, well,
right?
if you have a server and you create a new record in a table and someone has a layout visible with that table, FileMaker will send a notification from the server to the client that there's a new record and the layout will update, So you may see the new record, which I don't think triggers a script trigger because you are on a record maybe, and then there's a new record added in the background, which just increases the count at the top. Yeah.
I think that all makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This
Let's
is
see. I
cool.
can copy this, and then do I have yeah, here you see on the bottom is the new record. So let's try again. Second time, move this to the side. So let's say story 2, and then run it, and run it again. You see the count here is going up, but otherwise nothing is happening. So you can use FM insert record anywhere, wherever you like. This can be used for funny things, like you could have it in a calculation on the layout. Yeah, sure. So whenever the layout is rendered, it would trigger an insert.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's useful. But I know people that have calculations in the layout to, notify that someone enters the layout and then maybe have a variable to check a global variable. So they, they write to log file that you visited the layout. This can happen.
That's funny. Well, I assume you can pretty much use almost any MBS function in a layout calculation, right? Because it's just within a set variable command. Yeah.
Yeah, you can use it basically anywhere. Like you can have your label for, button group. Could use an MBS calculation, button bar. So this one is, something like version. And then exit layout. and it shows the plugin version. You know.
Ah, there you go. Okay. I didn't even think about that. That actually adds a
Be
lot of fun.
careful. This thing may be evaluated a lot of times.
Oh. Oh. That isn't
Do we have
necessarily
a counter?
great.
That's a
Uh,
good question. Do we have a counter? Oh, well, yeah, you can just make a calculation that counts up, you know.
mm-hmm.
Let $test is $test plus one. Return $test. Not allowed. Oh, yeah, it's a big column. So 1, 2, you know, every time FileMaker redraws the layout or re-evaluates the layout, this would trigger. Oh, when you click, it triggers. When you click a new record, it triggers. So you can basically have a counter to see how often FileMaker re-evaluates things.
Ooh.
So we have the insert thing here. Let's go to the next door. Union. Union allows you to make two queries and then stuck them together for one result. So what can we do? We can here select name, actor, movie from the roles table, roles 2 table, and then there's also a table for supporting roles, which has the same fields. They don't need to have the same name actually, because it's just the SQL engine throwing together, you know, two result sets. And as long as they have the same name of number of fields, it should work. So you get the actors, movie, and name from one table, other table, and you put it together. And then on the end, you order it. So you see the result. Let's try it. Let's play a little bit with it.
Yeah. Well, I read about it and it makes sense, but I always like to see it in action.
So it's quick to, let's see, you have a name. Movie. Movie is an ID. So we see the numbers here. And okay, we want to know which is the main role. So I can just have in the SQL additional columns created by putting in values in the SQL. Here, support. So I get that in the result, edit. So I see who is here the main guy and who's the supporting character. Isn't that nice? So I can see the result from the first query. I can also just run the second query. And yeah, the union just throws them together. Nothing special. Just another keyword in SQL.
That makes sense.
So what else? We can, of course, have, again, a where clause. So we can filter the table to only pick things from one movie.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see.
Is 2 like the record number? Or
Yeah,
is it?
this is, let's go supporting roles. So movie is a text field. So movie is a text field with a movie. If you want to know the movie name, you have different things, like you could make a join, you know. Let's see, movies have a table. There's a movie table and there's a movie name. So I could say movie point name here, and this would be roles point name, and then also here supporting roles point name, and then movie dot name, yeah. From roles, join movie. I have to write it. Movie dot movie has an ID, primary key equals the roles dot movie. It will be interesting to see if this works right away or if I have to find my mistake.
Well, debugging is always good for people to understand what's happening.
Oh, you know, there's something missing around, you know, the fuck. Cool. So, let's remove the filter for only this movie. Actor, movie name. We have no result. It's not the primary key field, isn't it? It's,
What else is it called?
you know what? I just use my things from the plugin, from the select star for movie. Why the second query here? Oh, here, shift select. So I see, no, I'm even more confused. Let's go to take a look at the schema here. So movie is generated. Wait, how is it? You know, when you have a blackout, where's the movie table? Where does the movie have an ID? There's no relationship here. Wait, the row ID. Is it the row ID? Let's try. So FileMaker has not much documented thing where you have a row ID on each record, which is the FileMaker internal key. And no, it doesn't know it. No, row. No, it complains about it. How lost can I be? Next question. Incompatible data types. Oh, jetzt no. This is stored as a number. So cast as integer. Does the cast work? No, it's still complaining. No, it's not cast. The row ID is a number. The movie entry is an integer. Cast. Cast as data type. There is an error in the syntax. Two. It doesn't like. Or is it decimal here? So, oh, okay. So in a table in FileMaker, you always have the row ID to give you the record ID, which is this counting number starting at 1 for every new record. If you delete a record, they don't change the number, so it stays the same every time. And then we have the SQL where we can do a cast to change the data type of a value. In this case, I change the movie field to be a numeric value. And FileMaker decimal didn't like integer. I don't know why. Usually they have different. So you can also use things like varchar. It's a name for a text field, or date, time, timestamp for time values. And now we have the possibility here to show you the name of the movie by getting it from the second table. Okay.
This is actually really interesting. This.
If you don't know all these details, you may ask your favorite AI agent,
And ask for details.
Yeah, that's usually, they are good at spotting errors in SQL. So we have the union, and we have here the union for one movie. And now we have a different union where we put it all in a MBS call again. And that's it for this door. So let's go to 13. Last SQL. Oh, this is about getting the error messages. It's very useful if you have a plugin call here, it may return error. Usually you just ask MBS is error, and the is error function tells you if the current script or the last call on a calculation returned an error, and then you can act on this error. It's very important to have some code in your script to notify you about errors. Not necessarily your users, but you as a developer, that you maybe have an incorrect SQL statement, so you can fix it. Especially if you mistype the name of a field. Like in this example, it's a name with an A. And then the plugin would return error. Because it's a SQL statement, the plugin will also set internally a few variables with the last error number we get, and the text message, and the SQL. So in case something goes wrong, we can report this error. So let's see the script here. With error. When I run it, I get a message. So we have the SQL, we have the error code, and we have the error message.
That's a really nice little combination, honestly. You see what you see what you tried, and then you get the code, and then you get this is where you messed up.
So this is something you could use in your code to log the errors. Let's just show you. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 script lines. And if you put that after every call using a SQL function, there's a lot of things, how bad. But you can copy this, put it into, no, we copy the text, please, not the XML. So we could put this in a little custom function to do our error checking automatically. Let's just do that. Make a new custom function. Here, something like, let's say, log my error. And this custom function would be called, and it would do a check and say, it would be a let, of course. If you have more than one statement, you need a let. And inside the let, we would ask for the error state. So E is, let's say, MBS is error. So good to know that. Now we need an if, because we need to react on whether we actually have the error. So let's put an error here, and then we need to put in what error runs when we have the error, which is again a let statement, because we want to have more than one line. And now we do things like, oh, we want to have the error code. Error code of this. We want to have the error message. And I'm not saving any memory by not writing a lot of variables because it doesn't matter really.
Is it in the
This block
variables
only
or
runs. It doesn't matter really. It doesn't slow down. It's just this error check runs normally, and then FileMaker doesn't evaluate this, so it doesn't really matter. Don't worry about. So let's say we make we write to a file. So we have an append function, which it's red, there's so much red. Dot text. Where's my append? There, append text file. And the append text file function takes well the text and the path. So let's say error code and let's put in the text error text while running, and then let's put in the SQL. So this is our text. We need a path. Where does our log file go? Let's say this is, in my case, a file on the desktop. SQL log, whatever you like. So I think we have to, let's see, this is this statement. So we have to return something here, doesn't matter. Again here, doesn't matter. I copy this. Wait, we have, you see the red here? You see the red brackets? There's a bracket closure missing, maybe here.
I do love the missing bracket because the amount of times I've forgotten a bracket in the little highlight red.
Yeah. Wait, I need to get the brackets right. So let's see, this one is on, then we return the 0. We have this, and yeah, no. FileMaker also says it's wrong. Oh, no. Oh, the if has another bracket. We need to close another one for the if. You see, the plugin also shows you which bracket belongs to which bracket. So
Yes, which is
very
also one of
useful.
my favorite little features.
So, hey. So let's see. Let's run this thing. Syntax okay. Format it. You know, I love my formatting function. Let's run it. Oh, we have no error. Okay, now we have this log my error function. Throw away this. We call this, and we execute here the secret, and we put here on the end. We put something like you know, log my error, and now we can run it. And I got a new file on the desktop. Open. No, let's open a text edit. Here it is.
Ooh, that's really nice actually because it means you get the history. There was a while when I was trying to debug some tools which were SQL related, and I had a really hard time because I would get one error and I'd fix it, but I'd somehow circle back to get the same error again after I went through a couple different errors. So having a log history of all the
Yeah, so
arrows.
this will so the custom function, let's just change this. It should return empty text so it doesn't mess up with our whatever result we get. And we actually need to add here maybe you know, new line or 2. Save. Let's run it again and again and again. See, oh yeah. Text edit doesn't reload the file when it changes. So open it again. You see we have now a lot of errors. There's a missing one.
Ooh, that's nice.
This would collect all the things, and you just use here. You just have to have this call to a custom function after your SQL call, so it would all be logged. And you can then inspect all the SQL errors you get if your customers are telling you that things don't work.
That's very nice. That
Of
makes
course, you can also just use our trace function. So I will take this here. This is very useful. I will copy this later into documentation so you can find it.
yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's good for error handling. Let's take a look at what's on the next day. 14. SQL and JSON. So you know how people love JSON.
Yes.
So if you sit in FileMaker and you need to assemble, some data for passing to a web service or so, and you need to get some JSON data, and you don't want to write scripts to go over records and collect the JSON with FileMaker JSON functions, you can do this in, 2 lines. You make a SQL query to assemble the data, and with the grouping, you can do a lot of reporting by getting the data you need for your export. And then we have this JSON records function. And in this function, you pass in the list of field names. So the field names don't need to match. It's very important.
Oh, okay.
You have field names in your table. You have a
Yes.
table name, and you have field names for your export. And I know that people love to have field names in their tables that are not very pretty.
Yes.
They may be encoded the field type, or they may be numbered, or
Yes.
whatever naming schema, and you need different. So you pass in the list of the field names you need. You can also limit the export to only the records you need. Like you can here pick some rows, and we have a couple of flags on how to treat the data. Like the flag 1 tells it always convert everything to text. And we have something about dates to return them in SQL format. And then the question if arrays, if you want to get arrays instead of objects, and what to do with containers. Containers are put in as object with a file name, size, and data separately, or instead of just putting the data in directly. And then there's another option that if you have JSON in your data already, that this JSON will be added to the JSON instead of quoting it as text, A lot of options.
Ooh, that is nice, actually.
We're
There's a
trying to
lot you can
solve
do with
problems
this.
that people have.
Yes. And you've solved a lot of different problems for people.
Yeah. Okay. So here, if you ask for output as array, you don't get the names, the field names in front. Sometimes you need that. Also here, the thing with the container, where you have an image, and then you have the file name from FileMaker, you have a size, and you have the base 64 encoded data. And then you could have a JSON in a JSON field, a field which contains some JSON, and then we just add it, if it's valid JSON, directly here into the result. Yeah, this can be very useful. Yeah, let's see. Do we have a sample script? Oh yeah, with flags, JSON column. So you can ask for a column of the result to be a JSON array. Like you can have several queries to get data from different tables, ask for the JSON, and then you can use a few of the JSON functions, the plugin, or at FileMaker to assemble a big JSON with all the data you need.
That makes sense.
Oh, just 10 minutes left. Okay.
What can you squeak in 10 minutes?
Now, let's see how long we take. So next thing that people may know is about the schema.
Mm-hmm.
We would like to know which tables are available, which base tables, which fields. So we have a few functions to help you in the plugin, like here, query base tables name to give you a list of the base table names.
Mm-hmm.
This internally just runs a SQL. Let's see if I can see that. Yeah, those are the names of the tables. Also the table names. Table names gives you the table occurrences.
Does it give
So,
you
and
only table occurrences or both the base table names and table occurrence?
everything that's available. So this is a
Got it.
base table name, and let's see. I don't know if we have. Yeah, there's a copy. Someone duplicated it. Okay. So you can get the base table names, yeah, and this can be useful if you like, show a list with a plugin where the people can select which table to use for a report. Like people do interesting things. Like some companies make a new file for per year, because they don't want to have the database getting too big, so they duplicate the name. Some companies have all the data forever in one file.
Mm.
Other people make a new table every year, or if you have different clients, you make tables for every client. Depends on your style, on how you code in FileMaker. So you get the name of the table, and you can delete stuff here. So be careful if you make a delete command in FileMaker. Be careful if you write delete in SQL. It's very easy to delete all the records by missing the condition or having the condition be incorrect. Like here, delete from door 7 where launch is smaller than, and then actually you mistype this and you put in something like 19,990. Just one extra thing, and then you delete all records. If you use our delete record function, we write the SQL for you. And the plugin also makes a little check to see how many records it would catch. And if it's more than one, we give you an error. So let's try this. Okay, delete. So let's see what's different. Table is door 7. So what do I have for more than one? Let's see. The years are not unique. Yeah. So the year is not unique. I can say the launch is 1998. Oh, delete records. Oh, no, no. Records with S, das multi. No. Okay. So delete record for just one record will complain if it's not unique.
Yes, okay. That makes sense.
So it's a special thing.
I
So
like
be
that though.
careful with delete records. Yeah. I just deleted a lot of data. Yeah. I may need to get a new copy of this sample database.
Thankfully, you can just re-download it.
So do we have any questions left?
An interesting one from YouTube. I don't quite know how it relates. Maybe you'll understand. It might be just off topic. Question from
You can copy it and
I'm pasting it, yes.
so someone is asking if a specific processor works with this. I can tell you that FileMaker currently runs on all the processors where macOS runs and where Windows runs. So FileMaker doesn't care. You can install FileMaker on a brand new MacBook Neo, or you can install it on the most expensive PC you can build. So, okay.
There you go. Cool.
So FileMaker itself needs just a few hundred megabytes of RAM, unless you open big databases, where it may need a little bit more. But in general, you can run FileMaker perfectly on a machine with just a few gigabytes of RAM.
And the plugin doesn't really add much weight to any file.
Oh, let me just check. We have been using FileMaker here with our database, so put in FileMaker memory. We are currently at 1.19 gig. And this is assigned, This is what FileMaker reserved, but it's actually using 944. And this may include a lot of, records which are cached in memory, because with FileMaker we have this little cache setting here. Is it memory? Yeah. So FileMaker will load, pages. So there's FileMaker operates, if I remember correctly, on something like 4K per block. So it will load these blocks into memory when it needs them, and then keeps them in memory. So it doesn't need to ask the disk to get it again later. And I allow up to here 1 gigabyte of stuff to be in memory at maximum. So when you open a database and you read blocks from the database, this memory usage will go up. And when you close the database, FileMaker will eventually release the memory and
There we go. Cool. I think we got that one answered.
And FileMaker is mostly single-threaded, so you benefit from a CPU with a high, single-core speed. Like FileMaker uses more cores, like for rendering, portals, or for things going in the background. Like if you play a movie, then there is a background thread to render the movie and to render the audio. But the user interface is just one thread, so single core performance is very important for FileMaker.
I don't have any other questions at the moment. So we
Okay, do
have
you have a question?
no, honestly, you've been explaining this really smoothly. Also, playing with delete and then accidentally deleting all your records is always a good example of why.
Oh, and from yesterday, the
Oh,
thing
yes,
I
the
wanted to
numbers.
show,
Yeah.
here's something like this. 56 as a text is smaller than 8 as a text, But as numbers, it's different. And you can try this in FileMaker if you like. So this is 1, and this is 0. So the data type is important. And in a lot of cases, you may do something like get as number to make sure that whatever you have in a variable or field is handled correctly. Oh, and both sides. Yeah. If I do it only on one side, then it would say, oh, this is a number, this is a text, so make the number a text and compare it then. So,
An important thing about
and
text versus
and
number.
if you wonder what's in a variable or so, you can always use the plugin, which can tell you what's in a variable. And so our test variable is a number.
Do variables default to number or do they default to text?
Now, in FileMaker, usually everything starts as text. So this is just text, and 1, 2, 3 is number.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. That's an important distinction. That'll trip people up. It's tripped me up every once in a while, because every once in a while I forget about that, and I'm like, oh wait, that's why it's not sorting the way I want it to.
So, and if I put text in a number field,
Mm-hmm.
what data type does it have? This is large. This counts as a number, but the value is text. So there I confused FileMaker. Can be funny. So the AFB value here would be, sorted like a number
Mm-hmm.
compared to another number as a number.
That's How would it even do that? Would it just put it like at the? Would it spaz out? Would it just put it at the front or the bottom?
No, it would internally ask, give me the number of this value, and this would be 0. And then it would be
Oh.
sort and so on like 0. Where's my revert changes? Oh, I can't do that. Okay, so I will just put in some date. Okay. No other question?
Not at the moment. So, just people saying thank you. So, thank you.
Okay.
This has been a fun series. I'm looking forward to the last. How many doors? Well, I can do the math. I can math that myself. We should
The
be able to
second
make.
day, and we are at 16.
I know.
16.
I know. We did 8. We did another 8. Cool. Thank you, Christian. Much appreciated. All right, everybody.
Okay.
Have a lovely evening, and I will catch you and Christian tomorrow. Okay. Hello, Christian. Thank you again, as always.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, my father did want me to ask you if you could do that one feature he had me send a video to you about, or if that was possible or not possible.
You sent a video?
I did.
Oh, yeah, here, this one. I can watch it. I think
No,
I
I'm not.
watched it before and instantly switched to something else and then forgot about it.
No, you're good.
You know,
I'll
this
tell
is the
him.
thing. And your father likes to
He
talk 4 minutes
rambles.
instead
endlessly.
of just writing 2 sentences.
I know. I'm very sorry. I don't know what he's asking for. He just told me to send you the video, and I said I would. Yes, I
Yeah.
love him, but whenever he gives me he gave me instructions on what to do, which is basically come down to clean up the database. And you know how long it took him to tell me that? Like 15 minutes. He's fantastic, but
Oh yeah, he also asked me about scripting the naming 500
yes,
scripts,
yes.
and maybe it's the same thing here, but I will watch it.
No, you're good. I just wanted
Yeah,
to ask about that because he asked me about it. So
yeah.
cool.
And this automation thing, it's very tricky, because you
Mhm.
can only rename scripts while no script is running, but you need a script to tell the plugin what to do. So you have to run a script which picks the next job to do and
Mhm.
then starts evaluates, which run after the script is finished.
Mhm. Which is
Okay,
a tricky bit
so
of
I say
work.
goodbye for now.
Yes.
Don't want to
Thank you.
waste your time.
Thank you. No, thank you, Christian.
See you
Have a
tomorrow.
good one. Bye.